I sold my business in Sydney in 2019 and my wife and I always wanted to move back to New Zealand. Decided with the cash that we got from the sale of the business that we were going to buy a farm, which is the first farm really I've ever set foot on in my life. It became very obvious to me very early on, having experience in technology and experience in energy, that the best place to innovate on for farming in this country was energy. Electrification started by figuring out ways to generate energy on our farm through a solar and battery system, and then using that energy as much as we possibly could in some of the machines that we had. The economics worked out to be way better than I thought they would, and it wasn't long before we were expanding our solar system and ended up with 21 electric machines on farm. Now we're the first fully electric farm, I think, in the world. So when I started to do these numbers, how much it would cost to run a diesel machine over its lifetime plus the capital cost, but how much it would cost to run an electric machine from the grid, and one step further, how much would it cost to run an electric machine through energy that I can generate myself on farm, in every circumstance, it worked out to buy the electric machine. And it wasn't too long before we had BNZ's support to bank a lot of what we wanted to do to, I guess, deliver on our dreams, which is a fully electric, full production orchard.
So transitioning to a low emissions, resilient and sustainable business model is just good business. We're really committed to ensuring that we serve our customers brilliantly, and helping them to grow great businesses means that we grow with them. We have financial products like our Green Loan, which enables us to support customers to build a more resilient and regenerative business model. And we have a network of bankers nationally whose job it is to listen to our customers, understand their ambitions, and they are well supported internally to help our customers achieve their sustainability goals.
One key difference I find with BNZ is the BNZ Partners model, which in a situation like this, it takes various different specialists from different parts of the bank to come together to fulfil the needs and requirements of a client like this, and helps the business to grow.
So we use a non-traditional growing system called UFO. Rather than growing trees in an upright with a 3D canopy system, we instead grow 2D.
So we can see our trees are all up, everything is upright, everything is flat. The principle is that everything is spaced apart and even, the sunlight is even, there is no shading anywhere, nothing grows outwards, so the tractor has a nice clear path in which to run down. Irrigation and fertigation are targeted to the roots, so we are only watering and irrigating here, using the least amount of water to grow the most amount of fruit, which is a win-win.
We expect that we will get about 50 to 100% more cherries per hectare than other forms of traditional growing systems. At full production, which will happen this year for the first time, we're expecting somewhere between 80 to 100 tonnes of cherries, which is about 10 million cherries that will be picked off these trees.
And transported using electricity only. And the pack house is also electric, and from there they go out to our awesome customers who are supporting us on our journey.
One of the hardest and most rewarding things about being the first is we had to source technology from all over the world. We started off by replacing the diesel irrigation system that came with this farm. We then put solar on the roof to then run the new electric irrigation system. We ended up buying New Zealand's first fully commercial electric tractor, New Zealand's first electric frost fighting fans, and then we upgraded our solar and battery system again. Electrification actually doesn't need to be expensive. A lot of the time people think about it costing a lot more, but these golf carts or orchard utility vehicles, which were actually not that capital intensive, but just for so many reasons are so much better than a petrol quad bike. Likewise with our forklift. That was $6,500 on Trade Me to buy a 40-year-old electric forklift. So I guess what I'm saying there is that you can start this journey without a huge amount of capital.
Aside from Mike and his team's real commitment and passion for the work that they're doing, is how they're demonstrating it for others rather than just talking about it. And I know that he's very mindful of the fact that the value of the work he's doing is compounded when others take it up. And ultimately that idea that he's trying to bring something to the community and to the country, I think is what's most inspiring.
We have had an energy system in New Zealand that has not kept up with New Zealanders' requirements. There is a real opportunity now, I feel, for farmers to come in and fill that void, use some of the land that we have to generate, to store electricity and to push it back to the grid when everybody else in New Zealand needs it. Makes us more resilient because we have a new revenue stream, but most importantly, farmers are actually going to help the rest of New Zealand decarbonise by driving down the cost of electricity for everybody.